When starting a new game in Football Manager, you've got the age-old question. What tactic are you going to use? Or do you commit the sin of downloading a tactic?
Shocking. I am disgusted with it.
There's always a big debate, should you use downloaded tactics? Why the hell not? Listen, when you first come into the game, you get all these tactical styles, and most of us will choose one and base one of our tactics off that. For example, here's a 4-3-3. Bang, there we go. Now from here, I will tweak it to what I want it to play like. So I might change a role here and there. I might change this guy to a box-to-box. I might change this guy to a trequartista, whatever. I might change a few team instructions, but the basis is this. I am taking a tactic that's given to me and tweaking it to my liking. So really, that wasn't my tactic. I've got a tactic from the presets and I've tweaked it for me. So I'm saying, what is the difference in downloading a tactic from someone who makes these great tactics and then changing it for your team?
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
And there isn't one. Now, the whole download thing, I think if you want to download a tactic, if you're not too confident about doing your own tactic, that's what people like me and RDF and others make tactics for, so you can get a gist of it and use it in your game. Let's be honest, if you didn't do that, I'd probably have about 0 views on my channel. So hopefully it also shows you why a tactic's working. If you see a tactic that works, you can then think, how can I make that my own? So for example, this is the Lukaku tactic that was on the channel a couple of days ago. Now, just like the start of the video where I selected all those presets and then tweaked it myself, my suggestion to you is download someone's tactic that you have shown has worked because you've watched the video, you've seen it and the results it gives you. Then you can tweak it to your team. Yes! And that's what I've just been doing very recently. So I built that tactic a bit ago with Inter, tested it with a few other teams, worked the treat. But I wanted to try a different version of it. So what have I done? So I've got my team here. Again, it's Inter for testing purposes. And there's the Lukaku tactic, which I've technically downloaded even though it's mine. So now what I'm going to do is, I fancy making a free at the back tactic, but I'm going to use the theories of this tactic to make it. Make sense?
I like it a lot.
So I'm going to make a free at the back tactic from an already successful tactic, and I believe that is the best way you can do things. So you can see here we've got 4 at the back, 2 central midfielders, 3 behind 1 striker. If I want to make a free at the back, I need to find a centre back. So I need to decide which of these I'm prepared to sacrifice. Now remember, team instruction wise, I don't necessarily have to change these. I'm more changing the shape of the team. So that's what I've done. I've made a completely new tactic, but I've based it off the other one. If you look at the difference here, if I press the Lukaku and to the Hakan as I've called it, the team instructions down the side are pretty much the same because I've used the successful tactic that I know works to try and build a completely different shape.
Tell me, he didn't just say that.
And you can see what I've done. In the original tactic, I knew that the 2 inside forwards and the advanced forward were superb and vital for that tactic. So I've kept them in the new tactic, sacrificing the shadow striker for an extra centre back. And I've changed the 2 midfield roles from ball-winning midfielders to volantes so they can hopefully fill the gap of the shadow striker.
No, I'm not happy with it. I don't think it's good at all.
And that's what I've done with Inter Milan. I've done a new season with a completely new tactic, but based on the original one that I knew worked. There's the Hakan in motion. You can see the players have got used to it, they enjoy it, and it's still very similar to the Lukaku. In fact, the team instructions down the side are the same. It's led to another great season. They're going to win the league, and Lukaku again has scored a bucket ton of goals because he did that in the first tactic that we downloaded. So we knew it was going to work, but we can get a bit more experimental.
Sometimes may be good. Ooh. Sometimes may be
And a little secret for you, a lot of my tactics are all based around one. Once I've got a successful one, usually at the start of the cycle, I'll then use that as a template to build all the others. I mean, at the minute, I'm obsessed with out of possession instructions of lower defensive line with high press. I absolutely love the way it's working. No balls in behind, which has been what's killing me in FM, but since doing that, it's worked a treat. So I've started to build tactics based on that. It's probably why you see loads of tactics, usually in FM22, but still in FM23, which have the high press and high line and massive trigger pressing, because they work. So everyone bases that off that. Your team instructions, once you've got them nailed, you can kind of lock them down and then experiment elsewhere with the formation and the player roles. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with downloading tactics, and once you've done it and you get a bit better, start tweaking it for yourself and make them your own. Just don't use them against me in a draft competition. You don't need the help.